My name is Maria Oscott. I will be the moderator of this conference today and tomorrow. I'm working here at Lindholmen Science Park with something called FFF, Fossil-Free Freight Transport, which is very much related to the climate perspective that we have on this conference. But I've also been working with city logistics for almost my entire career, both in research and as a consultant, but the last 6 or 7 years here at Lindholmen Science Park. I will introduce the agenda a bit later, but first of all, I would like to introduce Christer Strömberg, who is project manager at the National Transport Administration, who will introduce today's program, or today's conference, and the reasons why we are here. Welcome.
Thank you, Maria. Good afternoon, everyone. And I also would like to welcome you all to this conference on smart city logistics in the Nordics. My name is Christer Strömberg, as Maria said. I work for the Swedish Transport Administration. I mostly work with freight transport on a strategic national level. And I was thinking, but I'm going to give you a short background to this conference and put it in its more perspective why we're doing this. This conference is part of a project that started last year when Sweden took over the presidency of the Nordic Council of Ministers. And as a part of the presidency, the Swedish Energy Agency got the assignment to run the project Sustainable Nordic Cities with Focus on Climate Smart Mobility. And the aim of this project is to contribute, as you can see on the slide here, to a sustainable urban development by supporting the transition to fossil-free and sustainable transportation in Nordic cities and their surrounding regions. And this project consists of several sub-projects. First of all, the launch of the project itself. And then there's one that has to do with increasing zero-emission vehicles in cities. And another sub-project which has to do with achieving attractive and climate-smart transport in cities. And that's the one that this conference is organized within. And then we have one finding solution for charging electric vehicles in cities. And finally, to make a database of information on charging stations for electric vehicles. The Swedish Transport Administration is responsible for this sub-project, which is called Attractive and Climate Smart Transport in Cities. And this, the aim is to create conditions for attractive and smart mobility in cities mainly through cooperation and dialogue meetings and exchanging of experiences across between the Nordic countries. The Swedish Transport Administration and other organizations are working together to achieve more sustainable transport in cities. A lot of work has been doing within the Closer platform and this DenCity project. The development of attractive cities requires sustainable transports, and it's very important that we don't forget about that. Therefore, it's very important to highlight this during this conference, for instance. And I think it's a good example of how we can cooperate and work together with these issues. Many innovative things are happening in the field of city logistics today, and the development is very rapid and fast. And during this conference, we will hear about some good examples from the Nordic countries that have the possibility to contribute to a sustainable urban transport system. And once again, warmly welcome to Gothenburg, which is showing itself from the brightest side today, sun shining. I hope we'll have 2 interesting days with a lot of contacts and a lot of good information and be inspired. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will move on to other persons who will also introduce this day. This is Anders and Andreas. They are co-managing the DenCity project from Stockholm and from Gothenburg, and are working both of them at Closer. So welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Anders, and you might feel that we are in a black chamber or on the dark side of the moon, but without daylight. But that's because we're in the studio, you know. But the good thing is that we all will be enlightened by many great examples of sustainable city logistics. So the feeling will be that we are on the bright side of the moon today. DenCity is a journey, but not on the dark space. The DenCity is about space efficiency on the ground, space efficient transport, and how to create attractive cities. So I will give you a short introduction to DenCity is made up of 5 different solutions, and I will present a very few characteristics to describe the project. You can see them on the right side of the picture. But first of all, DenCity is focusing on innovative solutions for sustainable passengers and freight mobility in dense neighborhoods. Typical requirements are high standards of attractiveness, accessibility, and sustainability. DenCity also addresses megatrends as urbanization, digitalization, and also electric vehicles. And one thing is to remember is that DenCity is a testbed to demonstrate solutions before full-scale implementation. We say it's better to fail in small scale rather than big scale. DenCity started in 2015, and the 3rd stage of the project started in November 2018. And we will finalize the journey in December 2020 with a report to Vinnova. Today, the collaboration consists of 27 partners and is led by Closer at Lindholmen Science Park. So this is the journey from 2015 to up to today, 2019. Andreas.
Yeah. Thank you. And these are the partners that we have with us in the project. So you can see it's a mix of both cities and regions, as well as businesses and academia. So it's a triple helix format of the project. And as Anders said, DenCity consists of 5 different concepts or solutions that together creates the DenCity system. The concepts that have been developed during the project are divided into 5 different. So first of all, we have the mobility broker concept, which is a mobility as a service concept that for landlords to offer to their tenants, which will be designed to fit the needs of the individuals living in the city, in the DenCity. Secondly, we have the full service real estate that develop solutions that will improve the process from web shop checkout all the way to the last mile delivery to the consumers living in dense areas. And the aim is to improve the service level to such a level that the need for owning your own car is reduced to almost nothing. Thirdly, we are also demonstrating the zero emission transport with the Volvo FL electric truck together with Schenker and Renova here in Gothenburg. And this work packages also look at the charging infrastructure that will be needed in order to facilitate electric trucks in the cities going forward. Fourthly, and also fifthly, we have the space efficient transport and consolidated urban logistics, which I will not mention much more right now because we will have more detailed presentations on them going forward today. The space efficient transport, we will also make a study visit to, as well as the Lindholmsleveransen here next to us. Finally, I would also like to welcome you to this conference, and I hope we will have 2 amazing days here together, all of us. And I will give the back word to Maria, that will move us forward in the program.